Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I have another form drawing tutorial to share with you. We are using this book by Angela Lord called Creative Form Drawing, and we are now on lesson 3. And the way that I've done the lessons is that we have done the straight and curved line as lesson number 1, and lesson number 2 was on different patterns with the straight lines, and we're going to continue that today as lesson number 3. We're going to continue doing the patterns with the straight line before we move on to the curved lines and doing patterns with the curved lines. Now we have a project to do before we actually get to the form drawing, and this one's going to be a little bit different today versus the other days. The children have already walked the straight line several times, and so today I thought we could do some embroidery work that represents the different patterns that we have already worked on. So I am going to open up these embroidery hoops. I've got some white linen here. I'm going to get some thread on the needles for the children, and while I am doing that, while I'm preparing that part of the project for them, they can work with our sand tray. So I've got 2 dowels in here. You can use your hand if you want, but I also have the dowels, and they can work on the different lines that we've practiced already while I prepare the this part of the lesson. All right, sweetheart, you can work here if you want. Okay. So go ahead. Why don't you...
We'll separate it in half.
Okay, you guys can each work on half of it while I get this part right.
We're both going to do the first line.
But let me ask you.
What do you do on that side?
Before we start...
Take this thing.
Before we start, I want you guys to choose your embroidery floss. It's for an embroidery project. Just choose one color. Which color do you guys want to use? Okay, which one do you want to do?
This one.
Ooh, beautiful. The maroon? This one?
The maroon.
Okay. All right, let me get this ready and I'll be right back.
Oh, it has ridges. This is the straight line, so this is the straight line. And the curved one. Straight, curved, curved and straight. No, we don't do curved. Curved and straight. Just do what you're supposed to do. I did my...
Alright, so now I'm going to put the sand away. I've got all of our projects ready to go. We have our embroidery, that one's for you, and this one is for you. And I've already knotted it, so what we're going to do is, you can do it right here, sweetheart, so that people can see. So if you remember some of the patterns that we did with our previous lesson, we're going to do that here. Now, we're just going to do one large pattern, and we're going to go straight down the middle. So to do that, you're going to take your needle, and you're going to put it in right here at the bottom. Very good. And then you can pull it all the way, and there's a knot in it.
Don't catch this.
Yes, thank you. You want to do it for the camera? Perfect.
And just a running stitch.
Oh wait, hold on, sweetheart. It will be a running stitch, and we're gonna go all the way to the top. All the way to the top.
Little.
Yes, yours is little, and mine is bigger, and then we have one that's a medium size.
Oh, that's where you got.
Very nice.
Is that where you got this?
No, I just bought this set, and it happens to be. And then. Very nice. That's beautiful. All right, so now this is going to be the tricky part. Now you're going to come in with your... Well, that's okay. You did a really fantastic job. So now if you want, you can turn it over to find out where you're going to go to next. And I am going to, actually to save my thread, what I'm going to do is I am going to go right here. All right? So for you, I would suggest that you do it right about here. All right, and you the same. Did you? Okay, so now you can flip it over and see where your thread is.
It also makes a pattern on the back.
It does make a pattern on the back. So if you pull this down, oh, did you already continue? Oh, you already did it. Very nice. Okay, your thread needs a little bit of help here. What happened here?
Oh, my thread needs help.
We just want a single, there we go. Just single strand. All right, so you started on yours. You already knew the pattern, so let me do mine. And you just want to come in about Yay there. Okay. So now,
right there?
let's flip it over and see where we're going to go to next.
Where do I go next?
I think that's probably about right.
We're only going to be able to do one side.
I think we're just going to do one side, yeah.
Don't go
But then we can get more thread for the next time we do this. So now we're just going to continue that pattern that we did yesterday. Let's see how much we can do with the thread that we have.
Like this?
Yes! Can I see? Very nice.
So now I just do a little one and then a little one.
Yeah.
To turn. I need to go.
I like the sound it makes when it pops through. You okay?
It is making a pattern, see? Boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah, it is making a pattern. Are you okay, baby? I don't have the little finger guards right now.
Okay.
I love this. You're done? Okay, I'm going to do just one more.
I'm just going to tie off mine. I mean, this is tiny.
Yeah, mine looks just like that.
Should I do just... Are you only doing one side?
I'm only doing one side, but you're fantastic. You're doing both sides. That's great. I didn't think we'd have enough thread to do that. I'm going to go ahead and tie mine off. Or can I? Yeah, I think I'll tie mine off because I don't want to show, like, it's a little bit see-through. And I kind of like the pattern that it makes when you can kind of see through it. But anyway, let's tie this off.
You can, I know.
You're not? Is this the best way to tie it off? I'm going to go ahead and knot this one because I think we'll... Yeah, you want the scissors? Go ahead. I'll do this. I'll do the other side.
I can't do it.
Oh, okay. You did great. The only problem that you ran into is that your thread got doubled. So we'll fix that.
Then I'll have more?
Yeah. That is what it looks like. Can I see yours? That looks beautiful. And we're just waiting on one more. All right, and this one is my daughter's. Now, I forgot to mention that my daughter is 6 and my son is 11. And while we do follow a Waldorf curriculum, I can't say that this activity is necessarily part of the Waldorf philosophy or the Waldorf curriculum rather for this particular age group. It was just something different that I decided to do today to complement this lesson. So we are going to continue with our straight lines. We're going to do different patterns, and I'm going to change it up a little bit today because I found that the way we did the lesson previously, there was a lot of time just spent in trying to get our crayons. There's more time spent in just selecting our colors than doing the activity. So we're going to change it up today, and I'm just going to have the children choose about 4 crayons that they're going to use for their entire lesson. Now, if you want to see the previous lessons, they're all linked down in the description box below as well as at the end of this video. Okay, I'm missing somebody. Okay.
Oh,
hello. Me? So let's start.
Do I get to do the voiceover or something?
Okay, so I want you to choose 4 colors.
So like,
yep, can you choose?
Two, I choose?
Yeah. No, each of you chooses 4 colors. And you also have black. You may not choose black, gray, or white, but you may choose any other color. And also, you have your set. So if there are colors that you each want to use, then you can use the other set. Do you want to grab the other set? Sweetie, it's right there.
You want to
grab the other set? Yeah. And then I'll use the block crayons. That way, everybody can have access to all the colors.
No, you use your set, I use my set. And use
Sweetie, you go ahead and use these ones, and I'll use the block ones. Yeah. You can use these colors because he's going to go get the other set. Then go get your brand new one. Okay. All right.
These 2. Wait, can I use some of those ones too?
Sure. I'm going to use my favorite combination. I love these ones right here.
I have these ones. That's 5.
You're right. I chose 5. Go ahead. Choose 5.
Okay, so then I choose red.
All right, so I'm gonna put these. I'm gonna put these right here. Yeah,
Can I
choose
use
one more.
brown?
Perfect. Yep. So I'm gonna just put these aside now, and that way you can keep them next to you the whole time. All right. Oops.
My mandrel.
Can you? You need to move your paper over here, sweetheart.
Actually, are these two the same? These are the same.
Okay. Are we all?
Wait, does it say to pick 4
Are we all ready?
colors?
No. Let me just. You know what? Let me put these down below here. That way, we all have. And I'm gonna have you put yours on the side. That way, all of our papers are in the can be seen. All right.
I'll use these first. All right, 5.
Excellent. Okay. So we are going to do some of the same patterns that we did previously, but we're going to do them a little bit smaller this time. So go ahead and start with whatever color you want to start with. And we're going to start in the upper left-hand side.
Right here?
Yeah. Now, we don't want to go... We don't want to go all the way up to the very corner because we're going to start kind of right here. Our forms are going to be about this big. Okay? So we're going to start with the smallest line first. So can we do a small line like this? Very nice. Yep. And then we're going to do a longer line right next to it. Very nice. And then the third line is almost going to be the longest. And let's remember to start from the top down. Okay. And then this next line, this will be the longest of all of them. We're going to go all the way as high as you can go. Very good. And now we're going to start going backwards again. And we're going to do a shorter line from the top.
This one?
Yep, the same as your red line. And for you, this... Oh, you're okay. You're doing... Okay, and then we are going to do an even shorter line. I got confused. I can't remember what I was doing. And we're going to always start from the top down. And then this last one...
Same order?
No, I actually didn't, and that's fine, you know. Oh, that's beautiful. And then from the top down. Very nice. So we're going to try this one again. We're going to work...
Color.
I think that was it.
Let's do the center.
Well, no, I think because you have 1, 2, 3 on this side, and you have 1, 2, 3 on this side. So this longest one was right there in the middle.
Well, I'm right here.
So now, 1 second, sweetheart. Now we're going to do this again. So I am going to... Actually, let me tuck this under this way and this way. Okay, so now everybody can see everything. And we are going to start again. We're going to do a small line. Very nice. And then a little bit longer line.
Over here?
Yeah. And we're going to start from the top down. And the third line is going to be even longer. And again, from the top down, the middle line, the fourth line is the middle line. It's going to be the longest of all of them. Can you do the middle line, the longest of all of them? And we're going to start from the top. Okay, from the top down. Very nice. Good. And now we're going to go kind of backwards again. We're going to go smaller. And smaller. And then the last line will be the smallest. Very nice. All right, so now for the next line, actually I could probably fit one more here, but you guys can't, so I'm not going to do that right now. For the next set, we are going to start. No, we'll stay with these colors. It's a little bit easier to stay with the same colors right now.
Order?
Sure. We are going to start with a small line. And then a little bit longer. And from the top down for the third line, we're going to go even longer. Very good. Now we're going to go backwards and we're going to do a smaller line.
From what color? My color would be...
Very nice. And then the last line is going to be even smaller. I didn't change color, so let me just go over that. Like that. A little different. All right, so with this same pattern, we are going to continue. Okay, is that the smallest line?
Do you have the sharpener?
Very nice. The sharpener is in the schoolroom.
Should I just use the other one?
Sure, you can. Do you want to use the block?
Yeah.
Or do you mean your new ones?
No, I'll use the block ones.
Okay. So we are going to continue with this pattern. Oh, okay. Well, this time we just did 2 on either side. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Why don't we do what you did, and we'll do 2 tiny ones on either side. So now ours matches yours. So now within this same pattern, we're not going to start a new pattern. We're just going to start growing this one. So you see the tiniest, we added a tiny line because your sister added a tiny line before and after. So this pattern is going to mirror the same one that we just did. So if you want to add, just so that we're like all doing the same thing. Now we're going to start growing it again. So can you make another line that's just a little bit bigger, and then a little bit bigger than that. Good. And now we're going to go for the biggest line. And we're always going to start from the top down.
But only 3?
So there's 3 on one side of the really long line. Then there's 3 on the other side.
No, there's only 2 here.
But then this one now becomes the littlest middle line. And then we start growing it again. So there's ever only going to be 1 little and 1 big. And there's always going to be 2 on the other side of it. Yeah? Alright, so we're going to finish this pattern out, and then we're going to need to go with something that's uniform in color, because I think we're going to lose some of the beauty of the pattern if we are being haphazard with the color. And I am I'm just choosing whatever color, and so are you. So let's continue this one. You are going in order. I missed that. So now we're going to do a smaller, like a shorter line from the top down, and then we want to do an even shorter line, top down. Very good. And then we're going to do like the shortest baby line, little baby. So now we want to start growing it again, and we want to go a little bit larger, top down, a little bit larger. Very good. And now we're doing the tallest line. Yeah, this one's a little bit confusing, right? And then we're going to finish off as much as we can do. So we're going to go back to like a medium-sized line. I'm kind of lost where you're at. Is that your largest line?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and finish it off, and then we'll try to be as straight as possible here. Maybe I'll have you stand or sit closer to me, because you're kind of at an angle that's making it hard for you to get a straight line. So let's do the next one, which is an even smaller line. And then I think we're down to the baby line. And I don't think you can do any more, but if you can go ahead and finish off, like you can start to grow your pattern again, and if you don't have room, that's okay, you can stop. Okay. So this one was a little bit more challenging because we had only 1 really large and 1 really small line. And then the other ones we had, well, 1 per sequence. So this one was a little bit more difficult. This time I want us to do something where we're just using 1 color so we can really see the pattern. So go ahead and choose 1 color.
Just 1 color? Just 1 color.
And we are going to do this same pattern, but we're only going to do it with 1 color, okay? So for the rest of the page, we're only going to do 1 pattern. So see how much space you have. That way you know how big to do everything. And we all have a lot of space, so our pattern can be a little bit taller than the previous one. Does that make sense? Yeah? So let's start with a small line. Very good. And then a larger line. And from the top down, we're going to do our third largest. And then from the top down, we're going to do our most largest line. Great, now we're going to go backwards. So we're going to do a line that's a little bit shorter.
This one?
Yep. And then one that's a little bit shorter. Very nice. And then we're going to do our baby line. Very good. And let's try to keep it a little bit straighter for the following part of the pattern. So now we want to grow our pattern again. So we want to start to get larger again, right? So it's going to be, is it harder with the block?
No, it's just, wait, how do you hold it?
I hold it like this. And then I use the point, or the corner. So the next line, I just drew it, is going to be our almost tallest, not quite. Now we're going to do our tallest. Very nice. Now we want to go backwards again. So we're going to do our, actually let me make these a little bit taller right here, because then we want to go a little bit shorter. Very good. Did you already do your baby line?
Yep.
Baby line. Okay. Can we grow the pattern again? Do you need my help, or I think you're out of room? I think you can do it on your own. Should we go? Bigger. Bigger. Biggest. Big. Medium. Baby.
I should have baby on this one.
Bigger. All right. Okay. Very nice. All right, so we are going to turn our pages over.
Do we pick out colors?
And no, we're going to stay with our colors. It'll be a little bit easier this way to stay with our colors. And I just want to... Same color. And I just want to show everybody the pages that we're doing. We're going to turn the page over here. And now we're going to work on the same pattern, but this time we are going to be going in the horizontal direction rather than the vertical direction. So this time, you know what? I think we could probably go all the way down the side. Or we can, if we imagine, well, not just one page. I think if we split the page in half this way, we can do the patterns this way. All right. So for the first, not a line, but if you want to, we can. Would you like to do what? We're going to start from the top down. If you want to try this, you can choose one color and go from the top down all the way. If you would like to do that. You know, something that I forgot to do from the very beginning is to border our pages. And I'd like to actually start doing that now.
Do you want to border it real quick?
Yeah, because this seems... I'll explain. I'm going to give you a block crayon to do that. Because doing this line right here reminds me that our white space is just falling off the page. And I'd like to contain it a little bit. But I don't want to make a very large border because I want enough space to do our form. So I'm going to use the small edge of the block crayon, and I am going to do a border. You may choose any of these if you'd like.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
That's like the maroon color that you have. Oops.
Do we do the whole thing?
We're going to do all four sides, yes.
Okay. Not in the middle?
Not in the middle. In the middle we just have one line. Excellent. You guys are doing borders fantastically. You know, for your border, let me show you. You don't have to have the whole crayon down like this. You can just have the edge piece. Do you want to try doing it just for this piece? Just the edge? Very nice. Okay. So for the first pattern on this side, I want you just to choose one color.
Again, a different color than you had?
Sure. It could be the same or a different color. I'm choosing a different color for my border.
Brown.
Sure. So, now, we're going to pretend like this is just the only part of our page. So this we're going to ignore for a minute. So for this part, we want to try to get into the center of this space right here. And we're going to do a short line. Can we do that?
Right here?
Yeah. And now, let's see. We are going to grow that line. This is going to be a little tricky, isn't it? We're going to grow that line. Very nice. And then the third line is going to be the largest. Very nice. And now we're going to go back and we're going to make a medium-sized line. Very nice. And then a baby line. Very good. All right, let's change colors and let's try that again. And we're going to start with a baby line, and then a longer line, and then the longest line,
and then a fishy one.
And then we're going to go backwards.
Baby.
Very nice.
And we can fit in probably one more.
We could fit, you may be only able to fit one more. I think I can fit, I think that was supposed to be a small one. I think that one was supposed to be a small one. So we're going to start small, medium, large, medium, small. And then,
can we do the same on the other page? Can I take it out?
Yes, you may take it out if you'd like. But I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend squeezing in a small one here and then creating a different pattern here. Or I would recommend, you see how you did small, medium, large, medium, large? I would go medium, small. And then you've just created your own pattern. That way you don't have to take the page out.
Can I do something? Can I do it on this side?
Would you like to do your own set on this side?
Your own pattern?
Your own pattern? Yeah. Sure. Let me tuck mine. Oh, actually, let me finish this one. I'm going to tuck yours under like this. Actually, that's not going to work very well. Okay, so hold on for 1 second. Let me do this last one here.
Small, we can do our own patterns on
medium,
and all
large,
other sides.
Medium, large, small.
Okay?
Okay. So now, we are... Let's see, I'm going to have you move all the way this way. And there we go. So now what you can do is you're really desiring to do your own pattern. So I'm going to let you do your own pattern right here. And you may do your own pattern right here. And I will do my own pattern right here. Is that okay? Okay. Let's start.
There.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna do more. There we go. Now we should do. Can I do one like this too?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like this.
Sure. Yeah, because this half of the page you can do whatever you like. Okay, so we experienced an interruption, but I think that the momentum for this lesson kind of came to an end anyway. So we're going to stop it right here. So we just did 2 pages, which is fine because this was a continuation of the previous lesson. We're still going to call it lesson number 3, and we're just going to tidy up and finish this up. So if you want to check out some of the other lessons that we're doing for form drawing, you can click on the screen right now. If you want to see the other projects that we're doing with our other main lesson blocks, you can tap on the screen as well. If you want to see what we're up to on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine.